Hey everyone, Mike Embry with Cycline Realtors here, and welcome to Open Book Realtor, the channel where we give some tips and insight to help you buy and sell, but most importantly, give you the reality of real estate. Today's video is going to be all about helping you find the right realtor to help sell your home. There's going to be some tips that we're going to be going over that you're going to be glad that you have on your side, go over some insights so you know what to be looking out for, but also some questions you definitely want to be asking them so you are on the same page and you're confident they're the right one for you. But before we get into all that, please remember that I am a licensed realtor in the state of Ohio, so none of this should be taken as explicit instruction, but more for some fun and general insight. Consult your attorney or realtor with process and contract questions. If you happen to want to buy or sell real estate in the greater Dayton, Ohio areas, I would love to work with you. But if not, don't worry though, I am actually a relocation specialist with the leading real estate companies of the world, specializing in the best connections for buyers and sellers anywhere in the world. I'm local and global, so make sure you leave me a like and also a comment of where you are in your real estate needs, and I'll do everything I can to set you up with a top-notch agent in your area. All my contact information and links are going to be below or in the description, so with all that out of the way, let's get started. I do actually have another video that's all about helping you find a realtor to help you purchase a home, so make sure you go look for that one as well so you can get the flip side of what this video is about. When you're starting to interview agents or realtors about listing your house for sale, there's three basic components that you want to pay attention to. You want to pay attention to their experience level, the public image that they actually happen to have, along with what services they're actually providing you. Now, when it comes to a realtor's experience level, this is a little bit different than when you're purchasing a home. Their experience level when they're selling your house is gonna be important to know how you're gonna be communicating. So some people love to communicate via text message, some like to do emails, some like to do in-person visits, etc., etc., etc. It's just important to make sure you know how that person happens to operate and also what is in tune with the way you like to communicate so you're all on the same page. Along with how you communicate actually falls in your schedule as well. Some people really like to do a lot of communication in the evenings, some people communicate better in the mornings, etc., etc., etc. Not every agent is the same, just like not every seller is the same. So somebody who is capable of tailoring their schedule and or their availability to communicate within a schedule that works best for you is going to be very important, because you don't want to set yourself up for an expectation and then be disappointed by this person because they don't happen to work those hours or something like that. Pay attention to if they're a full or part-time agent. So some realtors will work full-time. It's their day in, day out every single day. Some are part-time, and there's nothing wrong with a part-time agent, but as a listing agent, it's important to be able to take inquiries from other buyers agents that have somebody interested, but they need some questions answered. If that person has another job, they might not be able to get those questions answered very quickly, which means those buyers may actually move on completely to a different listing that is not yours. So make sure you know if that person is part-time or full-time and what the expectation is should they be having another job. Your listing agent's experience level is also going to be very handy when you are listing your house for sale, because if you get offers to come to the table, let's say you do have one offer or five, it doesn't really matter. You still need to make sure that that person is capable of walking you through all the different pieces about that offer and how they are benefiting you the most, and or give you the information you need to put together a proper counter that suits your needs but also allows you to sell your home. An example of what to look out for when it comes to their experience level is to ask them if they understand how different loan types operate. You as the seller may be expected to have additional fees because of the certain loan type, and or that loan type might have a more scrutinizing appraisal process or something to that effect. There is a little bit more risk to sellers in general based on the loan type. So it's important that you know that, and you know that the person who's representing you is going to walk you through what those differences are to help you make a choice of maybe you have multiple offers or something like that. But not only just when you're listed for sale, is this person kind of walking you through the things you might want to do to be prepared for sale? So for example, if you have flaking paint, or if you have handrails that are missing throughout the home, or anything to that effect, these can be some appraisal items that get flagged and cause a wrench in the process. So you want to make sure this person has the experience level to notice those, to get them done ahead of time, so once you do list for sale, you're totally confident and ready to go. You're also going to want to pay attention to their background. So is somebody involved in things? Are there things that matter to you that also matter to them? Do you have things in common that will help establish a layer of trust initially? This can go a long way into your working relationship together because you are a team. It's not their listing, it's your home and your listing, but this person is going to be representing you out there in the marketplace. So you want to also make sure that their professionalism and their ethics lines up with the things that matter to you as well. When we talk about a realtor's public image, there are all kinds of pieces to that. We have an image and or a reputation with other realtors. We have an image and a reputation with clients and the general public, but there's also our attire and our demeanor. How do we dress? What level of confidence are we exuding to you as your representation out there in the marketplace? Some realtors are the suit and tie attire. Some of them are t-shirt and jeans. It's up to you to decide which one makes you feel the most comfortable and which one you would trust the most has the best image that you want portrayed out into the public. Because their reputation is your reputation as well. Now, we've mentioned reputation a couple times now. Their reputation in different ways can play a really heavy hand in you deciding who to go with. For example, an agent that doesn't have a good reputation with other agents, that could actually hinder the sellability of your home because there might be some agents out there who avoid trying to see that house with their buyers because they just don't like the listing agent. That is something very serious to consider. But then also their reputation with their own clients. Do they have testimonials to prove other listings that they've had where those sellers really enjoyed working with them? Or do they have bad testimonials where somebody is not happy with them whatsoever? There are a couple ways you can figure this out. Go to their Google business page, go to their website, go to their Facebook page, or what have you. All of those reviews, just take a glance through a lot of them and see if there are some from sellers or some listings that they've had. Also, call your local board and your state board. See if there are any violations against them. Do they have ethical problems operating in real estate? Their public image also comes to play in technology. So it's really interesting to talk about technology when we talk about somebody's image, but if there's a particular agent that does not keep up with technology, they actually make people's lives a little bit more difficult. And if other agents have come across that repeatedly with a particular agent, that could possibly hinder the sellability of your home. Just like their reputation with other agents. I guess that kind of plays right in hand with that. But there's also layers of technology that are more beneficial for you as the seller. Some agents absolutely refuse to update their brains or their business model to incorporate new technology, which is quite unfortunate. It's really just doing you a disservice because there are some really great forms of technology out there. For example, lock boxes. Some of them require a thumbprint, some of them require a special access code from a smartphone and whatnot, and these are very secure lockboxes. That means that nobody could possibly ever get into that lockbox unless they are a member of your local board, which is really important to know that the people walking through your door when a house is being listed for sale actually are realtors. All right, our next section is talking about the services that they provide. Obviously, being a listing agent is a little bit different than being a buyer's agent, but the pieces to that and the services that they provide should really be taken into consideration. It's not just about putting a yard sign out there. It's not just about putting something into the MLS system that's local or anything like that. You want to learn from them all the steps that they are taking to advertise, market, and get as many buyers into your home as possible. Sometimes that comes down to things like photography, videography. What does their website look like? What are their results on the internet? Do they have really good results that they can actually show in comparison to other companies or other agents or anything like that? And are they giving you options to consider, or are they trying to take control and force you to do something their way? That really is a way that some agents behave. They will just kind of take over and they say, you must do this, you have to do this, I will not list it if you don't do this, that, and the other. Okay, if you want to abide by that, then that's fine. But keep in mind, it's your home, you make the choices. So some people might be better off with an agent who's going to give them a couple different options of, yes, we certainly can list without having to stage. You don't have to do any of this stuff to get ready for sale. However, your pricing is going to be important to consider for that because people are not going to want to pay top dollar for something that they're going to want to have to undo or redo or something to that effect. But also, if you're putting your best foot forward, it's important to consider things like photography, staging, all of that kind of stuff. And a good agent or a good realtor is going to be able to walk you through the steps to get to that point for the top dollar and the best and fastest sale. When we're talking about services that realtors provide, it always ends up coming down to that question of, well, how much do they cost as well? Sure, yeah, that's something to definitely consider. But the best way that I can help you figure some of that out is to realize that you get what you pay for, or you pay for what you get. You know, if you're somebody who wants to purchase a Mercedes, you know, there's a reason why Mercedes happens to be a little bit more of an expensive vehicle than a different make or model of a car. You know, for example, a Ford. Doesn't mean that a Ford's a bad car. It just means that a Ford is not quite the top-notch quality that Mercedes might be. I'm sure some of that's circumstantial, but I think you know what I mean. You pay for what you get, so make sure you're paying attention to what you're getting that you're actually paying for. Along that topic of conversation though, you want to have a realtor who's also going to itemize things for you. That's a big service that they can be providing for you, making sure that you understand what your net proceeds are going to be. A lot of sellers pay attention to price, but they don't really understand how much they're going to be walking away with, or how to even come up with what that number is going to be. So make sure you do kind of pick the brain of your realtor, ask them a lot of these questions and things that we've gone over to make sure that they can walk you through your offer, what your estimated net proceeds is probably going to be with that, to help you coordinate for the most success when you're taking your proceeds of that to another sale or what have you. Another service that a listing agent should be able to provide you is an explanation of how to handle multiple offers. You shouldn't necessarily expect multiple offers, but if that were to be the situation, you need to know how that is going to be handled, because that can be handled many different ways. And agents have different opinions about how to do that, but you need to make sure you find the right agent that's going to be handling it that fits well within what you want accomplished. For example, some agents might recommend doing a highest and best by this day and this time. Well, depending on the strategy that you're playing with that and how much time has already gone by, not every buyer is going to be willing to stick around and wait. So you need to make sure your agent is aware of that and knows how to explain that risk to you. But there's also the other side of it. Not everybody even wants to play that game or wants to wait that long. Some people need to sell their house quickly, so it's not necessarily beneficial to take up extra days waiting for more offers when you have a perfect offer right in front of you that's ready to go. All right, there you go. There's some insight to having some questions and ammunition on your side when you're interviewing listing agents to help sell your home. I hope this really helps you. Let me know if it does. Give me a like and a subscribe, or let me know a comment of a concern or question you might have. Also, if you need connected to anyone in your area that you'd like to start interviewing, or to have an agent throw their hat in the ring type of thing, let me know. I'm happy to get a top-notch agent set up for you. That's all I have for you today. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.